On July 29, 2025, the world was jolted by a magnitude 8.8 earthquake off Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula. Deep beneath the North Pacific, the planet's crust ruptured, unleashing a force so immense it shifted the Earth's axis by microseconds. Scientists named it the Red Kamaka Megaquake, a nod to the crimson glow of the volcanoes it would soon awaken. Tsunami alarms blared across the Pacific. Coastal communities from Japan to Alaska scrambled for higher ground. In Ust-Kamchatsk, a 3-meter wall of water smashed the shore, tossing boats and flooding homes. Even Hawaii and Japan felt the ocean's fury, with waves reaching distant shores. The quake's epicenter lay along the volatile Kuril-Kamchatka Trench, a notorious segment of the Pacific Ring of Fire. The energy released was enough to power nations for years, but instead, it unleashed destruction and set off a global chain reaction. The Red Kamaka Megaquake was not just a regional disaster. It was a wake-up call for the 800 million people living in the Ring of Fire's shadow. The world watched as nature's fury echoed across the largest ocean on Earth. The sleeping giant had stirred, and humanity was on notice. The Red Kamaka Megaquake struck within the Pacific Ring of Fire, a 40,000-kilometer horseshoe of seismic and volcanic activity encircling the Pacific Ocean. This region is responsible for 90% of the world's earthquakes and houses over 75% of its volcanoes. Here, the Pacific Plate grinds against and dives beneath other plates, fueling eruptions and quakes through a process called subduction. The Ring of Fire's history is written in disaster. The 1960 Valdivia quake, the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, the 2011 Tohoku disaster. Major cities like Tokyo, Manila, Santiago, and Los Angeles sit directly atop these restless faults. Despite advanced engineering and preparedness, the Ring of Fire can overwhelm even the best-laid plans. The Red Kamaka Megaquake is just the latest reminder that these forces are still shaping our world. Living here means respecting the circle of fury beneath our feet. The Red Kamaka Megaquake was only the beginning. In its aftermath, the entire Ring of Fire seemed to awaken. 47 volcanoes erupted in unison, from Kamchatka to Indonesia. The quake's energy rippled through tectonic plates, triggering swarms of tremors as far as Chile and California. Satellite data revealed the Ring of Fire vibrating in sync, a planetary system pushed to the brink. Aftershocks, including a magnitude 7.8 quake, kept the region on edge for months. The world realized how deeply interconnected and fragile our planet's geology truly is. Earth's crust is a puzzle of massive tectonic plates drifting atop a semi-molten mantle. Where these plates meet, they collide, pull apart, or grind past each other, nowhere more violently than in the Ring of Fire. Subduction zones like Kamchatka's see one plate forced beneath another, locking up stress for centuries. When the stress finally breaks, the result is a megaquake, centuries of energy released in seconds, thrusting the seafloor upward and spawning tsunamis. The Red Kamaka Megaquake shifted Kamchatka's tip by over a meter, a testament to the power unleashed, but the story doesn't end there. When one fault snaps, it transfers stress to others, sometimes thousands of kilometers away. It's like a series of interconnected springs. Release one, and the tension builds elsewhere. That's why a quake in Kamchatka can nudge faults in California or Chile closer to failure. Our planet's restlessness is a global phenomenon, not a local event. For millions in Tokyo and Los Angeles, earthquakes are a daily reality. Tokyo's skyline is engineered to sway, not shatter. Children drill for quakes from an early age, and bullet trains halt at the first tremor. Yet, the memory of the 2011 Tohoku quake lingers. No city is immune to the Ring of Fire's wrath. In Los Angeles, the big one is a constant specter. Building codes have improved, but older infrastructure remains vulnerable. Residents are told to drop, cover, and hold on, but preparedness varies. The Red Kamaka Megaquake sent a ripple of fear through both cities, reminding them that the next disaster could strike at any time. For Tokyo, the threat looms in the Nankai Trough. For LA, it's the San Andreas Fault. Technology and drills help, but living on a fault line means accepting uncertainty. Life here is lived in the shadow of forces that can't be controlled, only respected. After the Red Kamaka Megaquake, one question echoed: why couldn't we predict it? Despite advances in monitoring, satellites mapping ground shifts, undersea sensors detecting tsunamis, true earthquake prediction remains elusive. We can measure strain on faults and forecast probabilities, but we can't pinpoint when or where the next rupture will occur. The Earth's crust is too complex. A tiny, undetectable change can trigger disaster. Early warning systems can provide seconds to a minute of notice, enough to halt trains and let people take cover. But these are rapid alerts, not predictions. The focus has shifted to building resilience, strengthening infrastructure, improving response, and educating the public. Every second gained is a victory, but the final trigger remains a mystery. In the race against time, preparation is our best defense. Long before satellites, people in the Ring of Fire relied on ancestral wisdom to survive. In Japan, centuries-old tsunami stones warn, "Do not build below this point." Communities that listened fared better in disasters. Myths like Namazu, the giant catfish, kept the memory of earthquakes alive in cultural consciousness. Indigenous peoples of the Pacific Northwest told stories of thunderbird and whale, now understood as metaphors for ancient quakes and tsunamis. These oral traditions preserved crucial survival lessons. When the ground shakes, run to high ground. Today, scientists are rediscovering the value of this knowledge, blending it with modern data to improve preparedness. The past holds keys to surviving the future. The Red Kamaka megaquake exposed the limits of our preparedness. We've seen how a single rupture can send shockwaves, literal and societal, around the globe. Stress has shifted to other vulnerable zones: Cascadia, Tokyo, the Andes. Our infrastructure, no matter how advanced, can be overwhelmed by cascading failures. Power, water, communication, transport. The lesson is clear. We must prepare not just for the expected, but for the unimaginable. Global cooperation, stronger infrastructure, and public education are more urgent than ever. The ground beneath us is restless and its message is unmistakable. The only question left: are we listening?